Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. Man, Tyler Herro knows how to ring in the new year, dude. I was like, whew, that was Goosey's galore. Honestly, and people are right about this in the IG, that was Gennady Golovkin, dude. That was Triple G, Goosey's on Goosey's galore. A way to ring in the new year. Boy wonder with a game winner to get the victory over the Jazz, 126-123. And it was huge for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, they lost a crusher to Denver, a game they were basically in control in for the most part on Friday night. And then, they're an excellent team. It slips away. Tough loss on the road. You're back to 500. You got to rally. You're going to Utah, also not an easy place. That's always fantastic to play. And, this David Guthrie, this gutless call that he made on Lauri Markkanen from the end of this game where Haywood Highsmith just absolutely puts the clamps on him, dude. No business calling a foul on Haywood Highsmith. But Lauri's having a good year. He's probably like, who's this number 24 fellow? I don't recall. I haven't kept my notes together. And so he gets this phantom ass call that sends Lauri Markkanen to the line, that puts this game tied at 123 apiece, and you're beside yourself. You're like, all right, how in the holy... And mind you, this was already the second time they had done this in the span of, what was it, a minute's time? Because you had the same thing happen, in about 8 seconds. The Heat had fouled twice to send someone to the free throw line for 3 free throws because Gabe Vincent did it to Jordan Clarkson with 14 seconds left, which got the game to within 2. Victor Oladipo then goes to the free throw line. He puts the Heat up 3. He only makes 1 of 2. And then you come all the way down, 6 seconds left. Lauri Markkanen gets this gift. And you're just like, oh my God, it can't go. Because you would just think, like, if they lose this game, no Jimmy Butler tonight, this could just be an absolute one of the most crushing losses. There's been some embarrassing losses for the Heat, certainly. Utah's been a lot better than people thought they would be. This would have been just, I think, the biggest gut punch of the season because it would have been taken from you by stupidity, by the fouling, and stupidity by crooked referees. But thankfully, boy wonder puts on the cape, 6 seconds left, travels on down, gets to his spot, beautiful shot with no time left, and the Heat go home with a 3-pointer from Boy Wonder to ring in the new year. It was awesome. And this guy has been absolutely ice water throughout his entire career, really. He's always had that propensity for the clutch, even when he was 19 years old on this team. And he was doing this against the Sixers and the Bulls. And he just has a flair for the dramatic. He has a flair for that moment. But particularly this year, you're talking about now he's had 3 of these. But this is the first one that was buzzer. That was just no time left. Let's go home. The whole idea of them about to have that ball taken. And Spo wanted to say it, too. Spo was like, listen, we all saw that call. Karma, as I believe the way. He's done this before with karma of the game. He really is like, that's karma, that the game got to where it was for us and that we were able to get that victory from Tyler. And in the words of Victor Oladipo, thank God for Tyler Herro. That was much needed yesterday. And I think one of those moments that could go from the most crushing to really one of the most elevating because you've now had a couple of games. As I said, I think a 3-2 road trip, that's pretty fantastic on this. You're going to the LA games now. And, West Coast trips are never easy, as we saw with the Denver game. I thought that was a game where the Heat played pretty well. You got a lot of good performances. It just wasn't quite good enough to be the team that's been real fantastic this year and has just found a lot of ways to win. So I wasn't upset very much after that game. I was just like, you know what, that was a pretty good performance from Miami. There was certainly some things they could tweak. That's one of those where you lose in Denver and you're kind of just upset that you're in the spot you're in that season because you're like, that's for the most part, you're pretty pleased all over the place. So to get something so emotional, so uplifting the next night was absolutely huge to go into the rest of this trip. And we'll see. Maybe this gets him to a good spot the rest of the way. But there were a lot of, without Jimmy tonight, so many good performances. The first one I want to get to is Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo tonight with by far his best all-around game. We know what Vic's been able to do on the defensive end. This dude feels like he's probably come out of the womb with a wingspan guarding people. He's just that kind of special defender, the way he can move his feet without fouling, the way that he can go in there and just rip the ball. He's just got the slickest hands when it comes to thievery and taking away things and shutting people down. But it was the offense tonight that we saw from Vic that was just absolutely tremendous. I mean, he had his three-point shot going. He was 4-9 from downtown. And also had the dunk of the year for the Miami Heat because he stuffed it on Walker Kessler, who was having a really good game. Walker Kessler was really impressive for the Utah Jazz today. He had a sequence where he blocked 2 Bam shots right in a row. He had 3 blocks on the night. He was a demon on the boards. He had 12 rebounds tonight. Walker Kessler was an intangibles pain in the ass all over the place for the Utah Jazz. And Victor Oladipo, he just put it on him. Like, it was like a moment frozen in time. And to see that kind of burst from Vic again, honestly, like the last time I remember seeing a dunk like that was the last game we saw him before he had to go get surgery again, where who did he blow past? Was it Andre Drummond? I think it was. And Vic had that dunk and he kind of gave that look and you're like, uh-oh, something happened there with the leg. So to see him get this and then just kind of the game just rolls on and he keeps doing his thing was absolutely tremendous. Victor Oladipo just did it all, dude. And like it was funny hearing him after the game because there was this one play where Colin Sexton gets Victor Oladipo, he trips over him, and it looks like an ankle breaker, but Colin Sexton hits a 3, and that was just burning Vic up, dude. And you could just tell he played with even more of a ferocity after that one happened. He was really great, and if you're gonna get this kind of Victor Oladipo, that's the force, man. That is a force that you could get off the bench. You're talking about no Jimmy Butler tonight, and you need every bit of what he can give you. Kyle Lowry, which is another interesting storyline tonight, just didn't really have the burst. He's obviously old and playing the second night of a back-to-back. So Vic, who didn't play against the Denver Nuggets, was the fresh guy out there, and he played like it, dude. He played like it. I don't know if that's something they can mind going forward with this. They're obviously going to be careful with Jimmy on back-to-backs, but to get what you got from Vic tonight was absolutely special. It was really, really great. And then the guy who was just the force throughout the game tonight was Bam. Bam was, everything and anything that you needed for this team. He was the leading scorer with 32 points. He gave you 8 rebounds. And was my favorite thing. Whenever it's a Bam Adebayo game, I'm like, all right, everybody likes to bring up the A word with him. Aggressive. What do we see from Bam tonight? And I always will look to one stat line and see it's not field goals. It's free throws. And when I see Bam get to the line double digits, which by the way, can we give it up for Bam Adebayo as far as the free throws are concerned? Because think about this. Let's just take a look at the arc of this guy's career and what he's been able to do when it comes to free throws. Bam Adebayo has gone from, he went from a guy who was a 69% shooter when he really started getting a lot of minutes. He's an 83% free throw shooter this year. And that's up from 75 last year. Like the work that he has done to improve his free throws is very impressive from Bam. It's very impressive. It really shows a lot of growth from him. And, these are types of things where you're like, a lot of the times big men, you'll look and you'll be like, this is just what you got to deal with all the other stuff that he gives him. He's never going to be a good shooter. We've talked about the growth that Bam has had with that jump shot, that silly jump shot, which he had a lot of confidence in tonight, was getting to his sweet spots, was pulling the trigger on it. But for him to have that kind of a growth and be that reliable down the line, because look, you want to be an impact player. You're going to have the ball in your hands at the end of games, and you need to make free throws. And he was tremendous tonight. So just a great win all around, and not much negative to dwell on tonight, man. It was It could have been a heartbreaker, and we could have been bemoaning about referee thievery and Gabe Vincent with that dumb foul on Jordan Clarkson at the end of the game. But instead, I think it's really one of the moments of the season. And as I say, I'm just want like, I'm hoping that this team has a 5-game win streak on it in it somewhere. I don't know if that's going to happen on the road, but this is going to be a real test this month with a lot of tough games, a lot of entertaining games. Lord, every game has been down to the wire. Every game they play is clutch, but I'm talking about, high competition, high opposition that they're going to be taking on. And so, to see that they were able to pull out, they really could have, what happened to them with that Lauri Markkanen foul call, that really could have packed up a lot of teams and could have gotten to them mentally. So for Tyler Herro to not let that shake them at all, and had a good game. Tyler was efficient, but he didn't quite have that shot from 3. That was like the one thing. You look around his stat sheet, you're like, he was 2 of 10 going up to that game winner. But that dude don't care. He don't care. Shoot or shoot no matter what. He did the same thing the other night against the Lakers, where was having a good game, was doing everything, and he is just. His playmaking is, it's going through the roof. But for him to have that confidence, no matter what, Jimmy said it, like, we always want our guys to shoot. And that's why, he's going to go and feed him the ball. This was just all Tyler looking for a spot creating, and he got it done. No timeouts. And that was the other thing that was crazy because of the marketing thing. They had no timeouts. So you couldn't challenge. And I don't even know if you would want to challenge because maybe in that case you would have wanted to keep your timeout. I don't know. That was really egregious. I don't know what these referees, dude. New Year's resolution for them: stop sucking so much. How about that? How about New Year's resolution? I don't always have to look to the 2-minute report and comfort myself based on you guys talking about the errors of your ways. But whatever. This was a great win for the Heat, and Tyler Herro. That's a hell of a way to ring in the new year, dude. And as Victor Oladipo said, and I think Victor Oladipo, out of everybody, he said it best.
Yeah, thank God for Tyler Herro.
What else has to be said?